Well, welcome back to our discussion on nutrition and understanding the concept of energy balance as it relates to storage of fat in our bodies. In our first nutrition video, we learned about the basic components of all foods: water, fiber, protein, carbohydrate, fat, and alcohol, and which common foods contain which nutrients. We also learned about the calories of energy generated by each of these: 4 calories per gram for protein and carbohydrate, 7 calories per gram for alcohol, and 9 calories per gram for fats. From this knowledge, we moved to our second nutrition video, where we began to understand the calories generated per ounce for many fruits, vegetables, grains, meats, and eggs. In this video, we will finish our discussion of calories per ounce in the last 3 food groupings: dairy products, condiments, and drinks. Calories per ounce of dairy products has always been a little more difficult for me to process than energy coming from any of the other major food groupings. This is because dairy products contain variable amounts of fat, protein, and carbohydrates, and therefore differ from each other significantly in calories of energy generated from a bowl or a glass of any of them. For instance, an ounce of skim milk generates only about 10 calories per ounce with 1 gram of protein, while an ounce of butter coming from the same cow generates 200 calories per ounce with no protein. In between these extremes is everything that you and I know as dairy products. Fortunately, the majority of dairy products are like the majority of fruits and vegetables. Most generate relatively low numbers of calories per ounce, in the range of 25 calories per ounce. You and I simply have to know and acknowledge the products that generate high numbers of calories per ounce and limit our exposure to them. The high-calorie items, as you can see, are butter, ice cream, and cheese. And we need to know both the calories per ounce generated by each of them, and more importantly, how many ounces are present in our bowl or on our plate. The reason that these items are high in calories is because they contain quite a lot of fat, at 9 calories per gram, compared to their low-calorie cousins. For today's discussion, let's start at the bottom of the scale and work our way to the top. Skim milk is the lowest calorie dairy item, at 10 calories per ounce. Buttermilk is also included at this level. If we add a little fat to the skim milk, we get 2% milk at 15 calories per ounce. Light yogurt and non-fat yogurt are included at this level. If we add still a little more fat, we get to whole milk at 20 calories per ounce. As you can see, there's a substantial difference in calories generated by using skim milk or whole milk on your cereal, or the 8 to 10 ounce glass of milk that you're drinking. As we move up the scale to 25 calories per ounce, we find frozen yogurt and low-fat cottage cheese. Regular low-fat yogurt with fruit added at the bottom of the container is included at this level because the fruit adds sugar calories, often with added sugar as much as 100 calories per ounce. At 30 calories per ounce on our calorie scale, we find regular cottage cheese. There are no other dairy foods that generate 30 calories per ounce. The next calorie standard for dairy products is at 50 calories per ounce, where we find soft custard ice cream like you'd get at your local fast food restaurant, and of course sour cream, half and half, and evaporated milk. From this level, we make the big jump up to 75 calories per ounce, where we find low-fat cheeses like mozzarella, and regular ice cream of the expensive and high-calorie type. The next step up our calorie scale for dairy items is 100 calories per ounce, where we find regular high-fat cheese. In defense of cheese at 75 to 100 calories per ounce, we need to acknowledge that an ounce of any cheese gives us 7 grams of protein, just like an ounce of meat or an egg. So cheese is not a bad food. It simply is a fairly high-calorie, good source of protein, compared to water-packed tuna or whitefish at 35 calories per ounce. The only dairy items with higher calories than cheese are sweetened condensed milk at 125 calories per ounce, light margarine at 150 calories per ounce, and butter at 200 calories per ounce. I decided years ago that I was not going to eat many of these items. As I've said, if you don't eat them, you don't have to know what they contain or how many calories they generate. You can see from this discussion that understanding calories per ounce is somewhat more complex with dairy items than fruits, grains, meats, or vegetables. That may be one of the reasons that I eat fewer dairy products than I do products from the other food groupings. We move now to common condiments, which include ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, pickle relish, and salsa. If we use our heads, we can guess which of these generate the most calories. Mayonnaise is by far the most caloric, at around 180 calories per tablespoon of high-quality product. This is because mayonnaise contains cooking oil, which is the highest product on our calorie scale at 250 calories per ounce. Ketchup is made up of tomatoes, water, and sugar, and it gives us about 40 calories per ounce, or 20 calories for a tablespoon, which weighs about a half an ounce. Mustard, at its pure source, generates only about 10 calories per ounce, but we mix it with honey and we get 20 calories per ounce, about half the calories from the same amount of ketchup. Pickle relish calories are very low for a tablespoon, depending upon whether the relish is sweetened or not. If we add 100 calorie per ounce sugar to plain pickle relish, we can get as many as 40 calories per ounce, just like ketchup. The important thing to remember about condiments is that if we eat a lot of them, they can significantly increase our total calorie intake for the meal or for the day. Finally, we come to drinks, which I consider to be the greatest cause of excess fat storage in all of our society. Every drink starts with water as a base, and then we add stuff to the water and end up with things that taste good, keep us awake, make us sleepy, or make us drunk. If we're going to manage our body fat stores well, we have to know what we're mixing with our water. Thankfully, many of the things that we drink are very low in calories, because water itself generates no calories of energy. Let's look at the things that we drink most commonly. Coffee, by itself, does not generate any calories. If we add sugar or creamer to the coffee, it may become a big calorie item for those who drink a lot of coffee. It took me a few years to realize that the real reason that I drank coffee was because I loved the sugar that I was putting in every cup. At 15 calories per teaspoon of sugar added to my coffee, I was getting about 100 calories of sugar per day in my 5 cups of coffee. Adding non-dairy coffee creamer to your coffee adds a little over 10 calories per teaspoon. Adding sugar or cream to tea products produces the same result. If you like to add real cream or half and half to your coffee, you'd be adding 50 calories per ounce. Most other things that we drink generate 15 calories per ounce or less. These items include fruit juice, sodas, malt liquor at 15 calories per ounce, regular beer at 12 calories per ounce, light beer at 10 calories per ounce, and vegetable juice at only 5 calories per ounce. The problem for most of us is too many ounces. Most wine contains more sugar and also some alcohol fermented from the fruit juice and gives us about 25 calories per ounce. Hard liquor contains carbohydrates from the vegetables or grain fermented and the additional alcohol, and therefore gives us about 75 calories per ounce. Most people, of course, don't drink 8 ounces of scotch or bourbon, but as you can see, a daily drink of several ounces will result in more calories than a small bowl of ice cream. The point of all this discussion, of course, is that everything that we eat or drink contains combinations of protein, carbohydrates, fats, or alcohol, and that each food provides energy which can be measured in calories. We need to be able to recognize the protein, which we must take in to remain in health, and how many calories of energy are coming to us in the protein foods and those which do not contain protein. Only if we understand what is in the foods we're consuming do we have a chance to manage our body fat stores. And if we can't manage our body fat stores, we can't have optimal health. In our next video, we're going to look at the other side of the energy storage equation, energy output, in more detail. Until then, I wish you good energy intake.